As you can tell, would you say transitioning from spring break?
I'm transitioning, but I'm not a early morning person. So tell me
Hey,
to wake
Teresa.
up. They're all bright and shiny with their good morning, good morning. Yes.
I've already done my morning meditation. I've already done reading. I've been praying. So I'm geeked and I'm already coffeeed up. So I am excited about how things are going. Now, last week, um, today is going to be kind of somewhat of my part of the story a little bit. And the interesting thing about this whole timing of everything is
Come on, Ann, wake up. I'm working on it. I'm working
Isn't
on
that so? Kairos working on it.
I had somebody in there. Yeah, she should have brought up.
Thank you,
She should have been a multi-millionaire off of that. I'm working on it. Yeah.
And as you can tell, she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Now, last week, Cheryl kind of told just a part of her story, and the interesting thing about it, after we had gotten off the live, we had talked a little bit throughout the week. One of the things that just kind of stuck out in my mind was like, wait a minute, the time that you went through all of that, you haven't even met me yet. So she went through all of this journey, all of the tear down, the embarrassment, this I would say very interesting journey of her reroute in summer vacation, her time off, aka put out of school. All of that she did. She did right before meeting me, not even knowing that that journey of hers would end up being a benefit to me. And so just the how we kind of got from my perspective, because sometimes as many people say, there are many sides to different stories. Right. One side, the other, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth of it all. So she gave us a little bit of her part last week. Just kind of want to give you my part last week. I'm proud to say I'm a country boy. I'm a country boy. I've been during that time been exposed to the raising. I'm a country boy by heart, still a country boy living in the city. So the interesting thing about it is, right after I graduated from high school, I entered this program called Spectra, and Spectra basically is getting students prepared for transitioning into college. And during that time, over the summer, I took college courses. So when I started my fall semester, like with everyone else, I already had about 2 classes under my belt. I was staying in the dorm, went through meals, the whole meal program. So I was able to really understand what it was to structure my day. What does college life look like? So I wouldn't be just totally overwhelmed when the fall came around. So during when we were at the membership, the orientation of Spectra, that's when I met my roommate. And when we met, because they paired us up because we didn't know each other. When they paired us up, it was something about him that I was like, I know you, and I couldn't figure it out. And he was like, gosh, you look familiar. His mom was talking, came and was talking to my parents, and they were like, I don't know why something is something familiar about you. But me and my roommate, I mean, we just clicked. We just like, you couldn't tell us after a while. People believed that we were related. That's how close we were. That's how tight the bond was before we even knew what anything was about. Only to know that it was through him when we went through Spectra. We went through the Spectra, and in the fall semester we requested rooms together. Now, as a freshman, you really can't do that, but because my roommate had to hook up in housing at the college, who happened to be the director of housing, we got to hook up not only to room together, but to be off-campus housing. So look at the favor of God, right? All day. So
it's interesting how we label things favor.
So that's how
Isn't it interesting how you label things favor?
It is the favor of God. I shunned that about. But anyway, say this is it was through him and his connection to Cheryl is how I met Cheryl. If he and I never met at Spectra in the summer, and God didn't join our spirits like brothers, and we clicked it off so much because we were roommates even over the summer break, over the summer. And if we didn't click then, and God had orchestrated that, and like, yo, we got a room together. And every year that we've been at the college, that has been my roommate, that has been my ride or die, and also my corrective brother. So, but it was through him. And if we didn't room together, and he and Cheryl didn't have a class together, Cheryl and our paths would have never crossed. And it's interesting that how God just kind of really orchestrates things before we even know what's going to happen. Again, almost 26 years in the making, and it started with education.
Right.
It started with my finishing high school, going into a program over the summer to prepare me for college. Not only prepare me for college, also prepare me for her. And even with that,
your
still wasn't prepared.
Grew up together. We grew up in the same community, so there was, we knew each other from going through school together, and that in itself was just all how God just weaves your life. The tapestry just comes together for a set time. The tapestry of your life. Remember that it comes together for a set time that God has mandated for you.
Absolutely. And during that first year, it hit me when we were talking about it again about today. It hit me. Now, why, as she said that I was terrorizing her with her music notes and going through all of that. Little did I know, right near the end of that semester, I was taking biology, and right at the end, and I was not doing very well. I was flunking, and right near the end of that semester, I actually just asked her on a whim, how are you in science? I'm okay. How are you in biology? Oh, I'm pretty good. And I had to humble myself, swallow my pride after I already terrorized her the whole semester to ask for help. And
Terrence is on Monday morning not telling the full truth.
What?
So he didn't ask me. It came out in the conversation of his whining that he was not doing well.
It was an audible conversation. It was an audible just talking.
See how we weave, how we think things go. He didn't ask me. It came out because he was whining.
I wasn't whining. I was just frustrated. And she just happened to be near when I was being frustrated.
Okay.
But anyway, as I was preparing for my exams, she helped me with these two things I kept getting stuck on: meiosis and mitosis. And
you can tell the spaghetti difference.
Yeah, and that's the way she explained it. She explained it through food. Somehow she already picked up that food was the key to my summer.
At the pancake house, the goodie house.
Oh yeah, that's another part of the story. We just really connected. But anyway, during my freshman year, that happened, and then my grades were up and down. It literally ranged from A to Fs, and didn't understand it. Again, was still transitioning. Then in my sophomore years. I also pledged during that semester too. So I was really I pledged Phi Beta Sigma. I was feeling myself, and then I was I was number one on the line.
Ego arrogant.
So the attention of the number one, and then the line, and then my roommate was number two.
Ego arrogant.
So the two of us we were a mess. We were a mess. So we went through that era. I met this young lady right at the beginning of the following semester. We end up getting together, and we established a relationship. But during that time, also, things were not going the way it should have. All of a sudden, my grades just start to kind of started dipping near the end of that first year, freshman year. I took some classes over the summer, took some more classes in my sophomore year, and I still couldn't somehow my grades were just not clicking well at all. And I was still involved with this young lady. And after a while, all I kept hearing, I would run into Cheryl. Cheryl would say, "You need God in your life." I said, "The life I'm living, this is all I need. All I need is woman and everything that goes along with it." And after a while, I would be dodging Cheryl. She would see me on campus, I would dodge her because I already knew where this was going. She started on me from freshman year. You need Jesus. You need Jesus. I don't need Jesus. I need a woman. You need Jesus. You need, no, I don't need that. Now, mind you, this is someone who already went through the experience, should have went the up and down. I'm just feeling myself. Everything is all pumped up. So it's really all about me and everything that we could accomplish at that time. So this is crazy. Good morning, Josh. So this is all crazy. This is just really interesting. So Cheryl is just telling me all these warnings. God is calling for you. God wants you to straighten out your life. God really wants to do something with you. And I'm going, no, that's all right. So that whole sophomore year, she was just like heavy in my business. I mean, in my business, she knew my background. She knew I was kind of out there with other females at the same in between. And then I had, so she knew me.
I think it's really important at some point, no matter where you are in your journey in your life, always to recognize that there is a voice of wisdom. And I think that's the big key, one of the big takeaways for this morning of our story or our segment. One of the big key takeaways is to realize that there's always a voice of wisdom, no matter where you are in your life. It's whether or not you make that decision and you choose to actually listen or to engage or consider what's being said to you, and to give space. You have to give space in who you are and in your heart for what is being said to you that's in your best interest. And most of the time, we don't want to hear it because of where we are and what we're doing. But for us, that's really huge in this journey segment and coming forth of, yes, we're like not night and day, but very contrasting and,
but yeah, complementary.
and very complimentary. And we really had to grow into touting that. We are not aligned like that.
And when we clash,
we clash hard. And it's but when we clash hard, we break each other. And
right.
that's the beauty of who we are. It's not for everybody, it's who we are. And it's for the work and for the destiny of our own lives. But it's important to note that there's always a voice of wisdom in your life. Whether you recognize or identify it, it's not really on you. Most of the time, we're running away from it, like Terrence.
Oh, I was.
Saying. Yeah, he was totally running.
I would see her coming.
He would see me.
I would run. I would dodge because I knew.
Totally.
Here we go with a God. She gonna bring that Jesus thing to me, and I don't feel like doing that.
Because you have to keep in mind, voices of wisdom pretty much just not talking from what they see. They've been there. I'd already been there. I'd already been in the detriment. I've been in the humiliation. I've been in the failing and the flunk out of school. I've been there and I know the road. And that's the beauty of who you are. What your value is to other people is that you've been there, that you've not just been there. You want to help other people not to get there because of the inevitable. By the time he and I, our journey, by the time he was ducking and dodging, I was about to walk the stage. And, you have to remember Terrence's story of, he had credits earlier. So although I started college earlier than he did, we were destined, regardless of decision. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you have to literally, because he started college earlier and I messed up and had to stop. Man, the awesomeness of this, we were destined to graduate together in that fall of 91.
Right.
We were destined to do that. All of those things that we saw crippling were actually for a celebration.
And this is part of the reason why my delay became the delay occurred because, again, when I was telling you about the relationship, it was tearing me up. I wasn't doing well. I wasn't focusing. And then after a while, that whole sophomore year became almost like a vacuum. I went and started again, tried to again make up the classes and everything else. My dean, who of the business school, was really on me about things. And then during my and at the end of the sophomore year, Cheryl just kind of disappeared. Basically,
yeah, we just kind of lost contact.
And that was crazy because at that time she was warning me about the girl that I was with. You need to leave her alone. And I had already started feeling some ways about, maybe I should separate. But because I was in my flesh, I was dealing with, it was like I was happy to be nappy and everything else. I was like, nah, I'm good because I'm getting what I want at that time. And she's still telling me, warning. My best friend kept saying, Terrence, you need to leave this girl alone. Leave her alone. My grandmama, Terrence, you need to leave that girl alone. I'm all right. But what ended up happening was that after a while, she got pregnant. And
wait. Y'all see this? Do y'all see this? He want to jump the story. And he jumps it when we're out of time.
Because we're almost out of time.
We're out of time, you guys. You have to join next Monday. Because we're going to roll that and back that all the way up.
We're running out of time.
So I didn't even tell y'all how he told me take me and my Jesus to hell. We didn't even get to that part. Yeah, you go pray and bring me back a word. What?
Oh yeah, I was ragging her.
I'm a prophet. That's all you need to say to me.
Since you know God, give me
God.
a word.
Yeah,
give me a word.
The word was bottles and diapers. We gotta go. Make space for wisdom in your life. Oh, we're gonna back that up. Thank you. But I need some heart. Y'all don't know. Almost 26 years, and he told me, take me and my Jesus to hell. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's what this heifer. I'm gonna call you a cow. I done drunk.
I done went from a bull to a cow because she was mad.
I'm from the South. I done drank the coffee. I'm good.
It kicked in.
Let's see how I got my energy. Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go. Love you all. I
just cannot let that lie live.
It wasn't a lie.
Well, you left out
It was a mission of facts.
Real terror.
That's the way I look. It was a mission
all the way
up. Here you just gotta go fill in the blank.
Listen, people. We will see you on next Monday with the Moors, and listen to the story and wisdom and and not just what we've gone through, but wisdom. Listen to the wisdom in your life and the voice of wisdom. There is always warning.
Yeah, absolutely.
The word destruction just seems so tough for today, but there's always warning. There's always wisdom and guidance. And you really need to listen to that. There is a voice of wisdom in your space. You identify that voice. Make it a great man. I got to get this together. Yeah. Okay. We got to go. All right. Yes. We will talk to you next.
Talk to y'all next week.
We will talk to you next week.
Me out about the Yeah.
We're going to back that all the way up because y'all going to hear about how this heifer here told me to go to hell with my Jesus.
And her prophecy and her Jesus and everything.
Right. And all you members of his church listen to him tell you get saved or go to hell.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.